Yeah. Like,
Yes, please. And rock your out.
Come on.
Mr. Hollis, can you hear me? Mr. Hollis, can you hear me?
I did not hear that microphone.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
And you can hear me now, Dan?
We can hear you. And
You can?
we can, and if you want to go ahead and get started, we can.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. I just want to call this meeting to order and pledge allegiance of the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Dr. Connell, here. Ms. Haas, present. Ms. King, here. Ms. Porchek, here. Ms. Lisa,
Here.
Mr. Moisan.
Here.
Mrs. Paulus. Here. Earl Paulus.
Here.
Ms. Snyder, here. Dr. Friedland, here. Mr. Kish.
Here.
Dr. Heaney.
Here.
Attorney Khan.
Here.
Okay, to make this a little easier, I'm gonna let Mary Jo, meeting here.
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you, Mr. Paulus. So, just to announce that we had executive sessions for legal and personnel matters held on October 21st, October 27th, and November 18th. And to get started this evening, we're going to start with our student reports, which are actually our Student of the Month award winners for, we're going to start with October and then move in. We'll start with commencing. Okay, great. Mrs. Paulus is going to be handing out the awards. We ask that when your child's name is called, they come up, stand here, and we will be taking a group photo afterwards. Dr. Friedland? Yes, I will.
From kindergarten, Claire Magarelli. And all the students, you may stay up here and then we will take a photo. From first grade, Savannah Counterman. Second grade, Olivia Coder. From third grade, Aubrey Rogers. And also from third grade, Leonidas Rauger. Fourth grade, Aurora Duarte. From fifth grade, Luna Werner. And sixth grade, Landon Daddario. Okay, moms and dads, if you want to take a picture, feel free.
Go ahead.
Oh, there you are.
I'm here. Okay.
All right, congratulations, students. You may take your seats. Thank you. And our October Students of the Month from Parkside Palmer, starting with kindergarten, Claire Brown. First grade, Brianna Anthony. Second grade, Emma Farrell. Third grade, Skyla Sass. Fourth grade, Paisley Stewart. And fourth grade, Aubrey Billings. From fifth grade, Elise Molchin. And from sixth grade, Mary Farrell.
No, and no.
Okay, congratulations, students, parents, and guardians. If you wish to give an answer, have a great evening at home.
Yeah.
Environment of separation, at least. Well, she's there for peace. She's asking.
Okay, as we shuffle some seats around here, we welcome Kylie Bean as the junior high school student representative this evening. Kylie, you just want to wait 1 minute here to get seated so you have the floor. Okay, Kylie.
Hi, I'm Kylie Dean, and I'll be giving the junior high report. Student Council is hosting its annual student faculty volleyball tournament. The winning student team takes on the faculty in front of the entire school. All students participating must donate a new unwrapped toy. All toys collected are donated to Toys for Tots. In Mrs. Smith's class, students conducted an experiment to examine the relationship between heart rate and breath rate during both activity and rest. The class went outside to engage in a running activity, recording their heart rates and breath rates immediately after exercising and while resting. This allowed the students to observe firsthand how physical exertion affects these vital signs. The students also took their analysis a step further by calculating the total number of heartbeats and breaths it would take over the course of a decade, using scientific notation for precision. They then compared their findings to an average value of a typical person. The after-school escape room program continues to see high numbers in attendance every other Thursday, from 2:40 to 4 o'clock p.m. October's escape rooms included Halloween-themed challenges, as well as an Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Park themed escape room. Mrs. Hoffman and Mrs. Smith have begun holding after-school meetings with prospective ACE members to test their academic trivia and problem-solving skills. The ACE competition is an academic challenge for 8th graders, in which we compete against 7 neighboring school districts. The competition will take place in March, and the team will consist of 6 members and 2 alternates. The topics range from literature, math, sciences, and social studies, and teams compete for both accuracy and speed in answering challenging questions. The STEM Makerspace has a brand new 3D printer. First marking period students were able to design a unique school keychain in CAD and print it as a project. 2 of our junior high band students have been chosen to represent our school at this year's Intermediate Band Fest, in which is being held at the end of January. Students from all over District 10 have been invited to participate based on their playing abilities. They will participate during the day and put on a concert for families and friends at the end of the night. A handful of 8th grade ELA students submitted short saga stories to publisher name in hopes that their sagas will be accepted and become published authors. Stay tuned for the update.
And the high school student speaker this evening, Sophia DeAngelis, grade 12.
Good evening. We held our Veterans Day Assembly on November 11th. Guest speakers included Palmerton alumni attorney Steve Velasic, the Vietnam veteran, Joss Nemsel, an Iraq War veteran, and Savannah Mickle, a current National Guard. Members of the local veterans of foreign wars were also present, as was former teacher Joe Cavacci, who shared memorabilia from World War II. For National Honor Society, we inducted 10 new members into NHS on Wednesday, November 19th at 7:30 p.m. Members are also preparing to volunteer during the annual Turkey Trot. Scholastic Scrimmage recently won the first PBS Channel 39 match against Marian Catholic in Bethlehem. However, we lost the next match against Wilson High School on November 20th in a close margin. We also have competed in 2 close early season Colonial League matches. All 8 team members are actively participating and improving. DYEA. Our 4 student teachers are gaining valuable experience while working with mentor teachers in the district. Students are already practicing leading both small group and large group instructions. FBLA currently has 80 active members. We have completed 3 fundraisers so far: Capriotti's, Thompson's, and State Trick or Treating, which has brought lots of funds for our students, especially those looking to go to the state competition in April. We are currently in the works of planning our dodgeball tournament, which will happen tomorrow, just getting those final details out. And we started our Capriotti's Pie fundraisers with orders due December 10th and the delivery being December 17th, including pumpkin pie, apple crumb pie, peanut butter pie, and apple. If anyone's interested in ordering, please contact us to your side. We recently had our regional leadership workshop. 7 of our officers attended at ESU Entrepreneurship Innovation Center, where we had a keynote speaker who talked about his various businesses and great networking opportunities, as well as a business pitch competition where against the other schools there, we placed 3rd for our trash to treasure business. We also attended the state leadership workshop, where 9 of our officers attended at Kalaha Resort for a couple nights. We participated in the workshops and listened to more keynote speakers, as well as being involved with our state officers. And all of our officers were also very active in the Goose Chase, which is an educational scavenger hunt throughout the thing. and the top 3 winners got prizes. I was lucky to have placed first in the state and won a new Apple Watch. On November 14th, National Enterprise Day, 5 local business leaders spoke to our FBLA members and economics classes about what it takes to run a small business. And then we had a Q&A session where members were able to gain a lot of valuable insight about what it really means to run a business. For upcoming events, we have our regional performance events that are going to be presenting in the high school on December 9th at 4 p.m. Judges are still needed, so if anyone is interested in judging any of these events, please feel free to contact Ms. Sansai and Mrs. Colombo. We also have our regional online testing, which will happen between December 2nd and 9th after school in the school labs, where members will just take all of their tests to see if they will advance to the state level. And our RLC, our Regional Leadership Conference, will be December 17th at Mount Airy Resort with a snow day of January 5th. It is a full day offsite, including workshops, keynote speakers, and the awards ceremony at the end. Marching Band has successfully completed all 3 fall parades: the Lehighton Halloween Parade on October 18th, the Palmerton Halloween Parade on October 19th, and the Carbon County Veterans Day Parade on November 15th. Students performed well and represented the school with pride. They also performed at the playoff game, ending the season with their strongest performance, Bandimation, featuring music from animated works. Membership increased from 30 students last year to 46 this year. We expect continued growth, supported by the excellent work of our elementary and middle school directors. Concert band rehearsals are now twice weekly. The winter concert will be held December 18th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium and will feature both junior high and high school ensembles. The board is invited to attend. Jazz band. Auditions are required this year due to high interest and challenging repertoire. Auditions will be held December 3rd, with rehearsals beginning the following Monday evening. Planned performances are at the North Schuylkill Jazz Fest, Forney Park, Music in Our Schools Month, and the Spring Concert. District band. Auditions are on December 6th. 6 students will represent Palmerton at these auditions, including Ellie Apollo, NES Roller, Alex Gablavi, Lucas Miller, and Bella Strout. Winter practices began on Friday, November 14th for all of our sports. The first competition dates are boys basketball, Saturday, November 29th at Stroudsburg Area High School, girls basketball, Tuesday, December 2nd at Lehighton, doubleheader with the boys basketball televised on TV 13. Boys and girls wrestling will happen on Wednesday, December 3rd, a doubleheader versus Palisades, and swimming, which is Isabella Straub, will be on Thursday, December 4th versus Schuylkill Haven at Tamaqua. Our athlete highlights are Logan Anthony, who's a Colonial League first team guard and defensive tackle, unanimous selection, co-defensive player of the year, and lineman of the year. Alex Piper, Colonial League second team defensive play craft. And Connor Heibel, 26 out of 242 at the PIAA State Cross Country Meet on November 3rd, his 4th appearance in Savannah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And then, I'm gonna give it a Nathan, our last, is Nathan here?
No, Nathan has.
You did, okay.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you again to Kylie and Sophia for attending this evening and taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. I know you continue to be great student leaders, so thank you for that. I just want to remind everyone that for me personally, student reports and recognizing our students of the month each month is clearly my favorite part of the meeting, because we get to see our students, we get to recognize them, and our student reports are very thorough, and it just gives us a little tidbit of the many highlights that are happening in our district. So I just want to say thank you to them for being here. It is very valuable to us, and just they are all a reminder of why we all are here and do what we do for this district. So thank you again for coming, and with that, you're free to leave. We're going to move into our superintendent's report, and I would just like to publicly announce and congratulate Dr. Angela Friebelin. Dr. Friebelin received her doctorate last week. We're very proud of her, and for this schedule, she is very high achievement and working so hard towards it. So congratulations. And with that, we will move on to our superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. That really means a lot to me. I would first like to thank Mr. Moisen for his service to our district the past few months, and for his support. It has truly been a pleasure to work with him, so thank you very much. I'd also like to thank Blue Mountain Resorts for recently meeting with a few members of our admin team about potential discounts for our students. So we will be passing out more information to our students in the upcoming weeks. So that's a nice opportunity for Palmerton. Also, you'll see two motions on the agenda this evening. One is to approve Mr. Tran Thompson as the Director of District Facilities. Mr. Thompson's here this evening. I'm going to give you a little background on Mr. Thompson. He's a proud father of two spirited young boys. He has earned his associate's degree from the Pennsylvania College of Technology of HVAC. After school, Tran worked 23 years with St. Luke's Health Network in the engineering department. In those 23 years, Tran took on many different roles, from equipment repair to project management to risk and safety management teams. The most important skill that he learned from his time at St. Luke's was how to be kind and compassionate. These traits and skills Tran brought to the Palmerton Area School District 10 years ago, and he is very much looking forward to continuing to serve the students, parents, and staff in this new role. And we are looking forward to that also. So you'll see that motion on later on the agenda. You will also see a motion for Mrs. Marlena Stroud to be approved as the principal of SS Palmer Parkside. Marlena is also here with us this evening, and I'd like to highlight her biography as well. Marlena is a dedicated and student-centered educational leader whose career reflects a deep commitment to excellence for all learners. In her current position of leadership, she serves as the ESL facilitator K-12 for the Whitehall Copley School District, leading district-wide initiatives in building teacher capacity. She completed her administrative internship and her principal pre-K through 12 certification, working with different administrators at Zephyr, Whitehall Copley Middle School, Whitehall High School, K-12. She served as an ESL specialist at Zephyr Elementary School for 16 years and has been throughout that whole time deeply involved in district-wide leadership and collaboration, including serving on the student assistant program teams for many years, through grades 5 through 12, pardon me. She has been a mentor, teacher leader in the teacher induction program, guiding new educators, served as a district teacher leader for world languages and ESL K-12. She served as ESL specialist at the middle school in Steckel, where she taught students grades 2 through 6. She also taught in the Allentown School District. Marlena has a Bachelor of Science in Elementary and Kindergarten Education from Penn State. She has her master's degree in teaching English to speakers of other languages from DeSales University and her principal certification from Moravian. Additionally, Marlene is currently in the midst of her doctorate in transformational leadership, also from Moravian. Parkside and Palmer hold a special place in her heart as all 4 of her children attended both of those schools. Mason is a 2022 graduate, Connor is a 2024 graduate from CCTI, and Logan and Isabella are current student athletes at Palmerton High School. Marlene is the wife of Chad, who's a Palmerton native, so we're very happy to have her here with us this evening. And just to end my report, I would like to wish everyone thanks. Hope you get a lot of rest.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. Moving on to our assistant superintendent's report. We'll start with Dr. Heaney this evening.
All right, I just have a few things, a few school safety updates along with the budget and some school safety updates. One is that quarterly meetings between the school safety coordinators and building leadership teams are now required, and attendance at these meetings must be included in our annual safety report at the end of the year. Cybersecurity has been added as an eligible use for school safety grant funds, and a cybersecurity expert has been added to the statewide school safety and security committee. Some hiring updates. We are currently interviewing candidates for our school social worker. We are also looking for, and this is where I hope Mr. Hedges puts in like Mr. Heaney said, or Dr. Heaney said, that we were seeking a first grade teacher, a high school special ed. We're looking for, and we're going through the screenings on those, but the applications closed on Friday, but we'll still accept applicants Always use more. Two instructional assistant positions are open. They closed on Friday as well, so we'll be screening that application for as well. Hopefully, we'll start getting some of these interviews scheduled in the next week or so. And then we also have two part-time custodian positions available and one full-time custodian position available. And we're in the process of also hiring subs as they come in. We bring them in, we interview them, and myself and Mrs. Hussard have been working on that, so I'd like to thank her, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Heaney. Moving on to Mr. Hitch.
Thank you. So I have great news to report since we last met. We have a state budget. Compared to our budget, our state funding will increase $124,000 for basic ed funding, $59,000 for special ed funding, and $342,000 for Ready to Learn block grant funding. Unfortunately, we did budget for charter school transition funds that were received last year in the amount of $196,000. Unfortunately, this was not included in the state's budget this year. And speaking of charter schools, there was some language changes in the budget bill regarding charter schools, but not really enough to impact us financially. We're going to be going through all this again soon, as the governor will present his next budget in February. It's a gubernatorial election year, meaning it's less likely we're going to have budget issues this time. But we know every few years legislators play these games with state funding. Thankfully, we did have a strong fund balance that allowed us to breathe easy while other districts took out loans or threatened to shut down if no budget deal was passed. Wilmington remained in strong financial shape. I just want to touch upon the consent agenda real quick. You'll see that there's a reapproval of insurances that we did last month. We needed to approve these because our policy was expiring, but I was continuing to negotiate the rates behind the scenes with our broker. So I'm happy to report that since our last renewal last month, we have negotiated rates that are $13,000 less. Finally, I wanted to echo Dr. Friedland. I wish our student staff and community a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hitch, and thank you for your hard work behind the scenes there. We're going to move on to board member reports. I just want to start with this week, our board of directors received an email from Dr. Friedland that included the fact sheet for L-Tri-C. And I'm happy to announce that after speaking with Mrs. Larby and Dr. Friedland, we will be bringing back our monthly L-Tri-C reports. So that we, well, Mrs. Larby may not be here in attendance. We're going to work that, sometimes we're going to work that out, but it will be communicated via Dr. Friedland. But we will, the hope is to highlight one topic a month from L-Tri-C to our students and our parents, as I know many of us have had great experiences, and it has been a very valuable opportunity for our students to receive education, whether it's dual enrollment or even education beyond high school at very reasonable rates. So we're happy that we're going to be bringing that back. So we're going to go into our other board reports, and we're going to start with CCTI.
Thank you. All right, so first they introduced two new people that are working at CCTI. Kristen Dares is a mental health behavior assistant, and Riston Barr, who's going to be the precision machine technology instructor. So I was very excited that that is being filled. The principal's reports, they had outstanding students for the first marking period. They were able to be nominated by instructors, so they were from Holliston that were highlighted. They had school spirits and Veterans Day assembly, and in the business report, we talk about the budget. It is not being increased for all the districts. The budget did go up by about $300,000 from last year. I double check that, but no increase to any of the school districts. And just like to announce that if anyone has any questions about the budget, please reach out to Mr. Deutsch. He is happy to answer those questions. And again, they're just looking for part-time teacher or part-time students, whether they come in the morning or the afternoon. They're very open to work with schedules. And the last thing is, I know that Palmerton has the articulation with L-Tri-C for dual enrollment, but there are some programs for CCTI students that are unable to go to L-Tri-C And so we did, put together through Perkins, articulation agreement with, drawing and design, that if they finish that program, they will get, architecture credit at Northampton Community College. And we now, Northampton Community College also has a decision making program that is being new and instituted next year, and we will try to set that up as well. So those CCTS students can continue with their blood graduation. That is all. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to the CLIU 21 and the library class.
Do you think I need a microphone?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay. All right. As far as the library goes, I just want to really point out that Sean Green, who took over as our activities person, is doing a phenomenal job. Anyone that has access to Facebook, please go on to the Palmerton Area Library page or to their website. He's a powerhouse, and so many more people are coming in. Youth, they have programs specific for youth groups. Something new that they are doing that they started a little while ago was the mahjong. So they have an American mahjong on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the library, but they just have, I don't know what to expect out of him next. He's just a powerhouse. He's full of energy. He's got a lot of really good ideas coming in. And they started this community gathering where they're actually getting feedback and input from the community in what we can do to get our name out there more, get more people coming in. Again, they're having the family game nights. I know we cleaned out our game closet, so they have a lot of board games, card games, whatever you need. And they just have a whole night dedicated to family game night. How awesome is that? For the IU, the big thing that I want to mention, and I'm sorry I forgot to send you pictures, but I can, it'll be on their website as well. I was very honored to participate at the Variety Bike and Stroller handout a week ago last Friday. We gave, through the foundation, the youth foundation of the IU and Variety, they literally have these bikes that are fitted to students that would never be able to normally ride a bike. They surpassed over 9,000 items between their bikes, their strollers, and the speaking apparatus for the non-audible students, the My Voice. So over 9,000 they've already contributed and donated out, thanks to organizations like the IU's Foundation that helps contribute and fund this. Those kids, the one girl, I will never forget this as long as I live. The smile on that little girl's face. She was pedaling a bike. She can now go on bike rides with her brothers that she's never been able to do before. She had to sit there and watch everyone else do it. The strollers, it was amazing. And how they break down, I never saw that. I'm glad I got to finally participate. They break down that they can literally fit in the trunk of a car. And these are big. So they gave 4 bikes, 1 stroller, 1 on that Friday, and they fitted 7 more while we were there. So it is an amazing, amazing foundation, and the Variety Group is absolutely fabulous for what they do for these kids. But to sit there and witness it, and they got to drive around the parking lot, and the smiles, I think, and the parents, their smiles didn't meet the kids, but the parents were just like, wow, you know, their kids can actually ride bikes and they're helping them along, and it's just freedom and individualism. It's just amazing. Before I let this go, though, I just have to say something. I see a familiar face in the audience, Miss Strop. I hate to say this because I don't want to give away either of our ages, but you were my gym teacher, followed by my principal. And considering you were in Palmer and now you're daughter-in-law?
It's my niece.
Niece? Okay. Another Strop. Wow. So it's really good to see you, Sarah. It's really good to see you.
Thank you for embarrassing me.
You're never embarrassed. Come on.
Thank you. Mrs. Wallace, do you have anything for PSBA?
Yeah, they're doing their student leader scholarship applications. It's for students with leadership which provide a one-time award up to 2,500 to 5,000 to graduating seniors from PSBA member districts who have demonstrated ongoing leadership, meet the criteria for one or more of the following scholarships. Students that are planning to pursue a bachelor's degree in education, students planning to pursue a bachelor's degree in public safety, criminology, forensic, or other law enforcement or safety majors, students who serve as a representative to the local school board during their high school academic career, and students planning to pursue a bachelor's degree in arts. The applications are due March 13th, and it includes a 300 to 400 essay discussing what it means to be a leader today and how you plan on growing your leadership skills beyond high school. I have budget stuff, but Brian, and then it's not here, but they are piloting a driver's test in schools. So the Pennsylvania Department of Education, along with schools, are piloting a program over a 2-year program to allow students to take their learner's permit knowledge test at schools instead of going to the driver's license center. So it will be administrated by the school, and a PennDOT approved teacher, and students will take the knowledge test using software especially designed for remote testing. When the student passes the test, they can bring their results to PennDOT along with the required documents and complete learner's permit application and fee, and they receive their learner's permit. And if they fail, they can retake it out of school, so that way it's not as busy as the driver's license.
Thank you to all our board members for your dedication to bringing us our wonderful reports every month. And now we're going to move on to old business. Does anyone have any old business?
I have one thing I want to say. So it kind of triggered me when Ms. Hollis mentioned about the student leadership conference, or sorry, the scholarship with a student rep for the board. Is something that I mentioned. We've talked about it multiple times, and I think I brought it up before too. I think since we are reorganizing next week, that this is something that our board should be looking into. I know other boards have it. And I think the table only should get bigger, and the best voice to hear from is our students. So I would like that something that we look into.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, any other old business from any members? Administrators? Okay, we're going to move on to the public participation portion of our meeting. Just a reminder that this public participation is for any items on the agenda. If you have something you'd like to speak of that is not on this agenda, you may do so later on in the meeting during the second round of public participation. Your name will be called. We kindly ask that you come to the podium to address your comments, and reminder that you will have 5 minutes for your comments. In the event that 5 minutes is not long enough, we invite you to send your presentation in writing to Dr. Friedland or the school board. Thank you. Mrs. McCandless, do you want this or do you want me to do it? Thank you.
Can you pause?
All right, before moving on to the agenda, the voting items, I just wanted to make it clear that it has been a long-held and foundational principle that the Pennsylvania and outgoing board cannot bind their successors to long-term obligations that extend beyond the current board's term. The outgoing board is referred to as a lame duck board. The board is in a lame duck status for the period after an election, but prior to the elected officials being sworn into office. The understanding that is the public has elected who they chose to move forward as school board members, and a board that has essentially voted out cannot bind the newly elected incoming board. In this case, the lame duck status currently is present as pursuant to our November election. The school board will be changing in December. Therefore, the board as it currently sits cannot contractually bind the next board that will be sworn in December. Any contracts that may be on the agenda for today's meeting are subjected to the lame duck board limitations. Therefore, voting on and binding the next board to these contracts if they exceed the term that expires in December of the current board is improper and could subject the school district to liability. As such, we strongly urge the public to hold the current board accountable and foregoing subjecting the district to liability by making contractual decisions while in lame duck status. Any such contracts that would extend beyond the district of this, beyond December of this year is appropriate to be voted on after the board's lame duck status expires in December of this year. It should not be noted, it should be noted, improperly voted on contracts during lame duck status may be rescinded when the incoming board takes office. Thank you.
Richard Benko?
Okay, the agenda, okay, number 11, all right? The board of directors to authorize Keystone was there ever any discussion about this water line? I don't even know where this water line is, and we're gonna put a bid package in for 72,000. What's this gonna cost us? You can answer me after. I don't know what time is the timer going? Okay, you can answer me afterwards, but I'd like to know, the taxpayers are in the dark about the spending. I mean, how much are we gonna spend? It's a $72,000 bid package. Is that what, I don't even know where this water line is. I have no clue. None. Okay, that takes care of that. The other thing is, okay, agenda 13, okay? Motion for the board of directors to approve retroactively the engagement letter for special counsel. Okay. Approve retroactive. All right. Another Title IX issue. Is that what this is? Okay. Both have a superintendent listed, doesn't it?
Where do you see that? Where do you see that?
What?
That's not on here.
What's not on here?
The superintendent's list listed.
Well,
That's not on the agenda.
well, what is?
Where is it?
Well, what about the other Title IX with Earl?
Was that on the agenda?
No. Oh, okay. That's all right. I'm just asking because I think Earl belongs sitting there, not you, okay? And she doesn't belong sitting there at all because that's what the General Assembly of Pennsylvania says. All right.
Mrs. Michael, you do not put yes or no.
Hmm?
You didn't check yes or no for public participation.
Oh,
Did you
yes.
want to?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Stick with your agenda.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Okay, as far as the agenda, personnel, number 12. Okay, and letter A. Okay. I don't understand it, but lately we've been hiring people and we go to the top of the wage scale when we hire them. And I don't understand this because we've had other like principals coming in, starting at 90,000. Now, I was informed that say this person comes in to take this job, as far as if she doesn't get as far as 98,000, she would have to take a cut pay to come in. I know that there were other principals that came into this district that took a pay cut to get the job here. Not only that, but at the end of June, when she gets a raise, she'll be over $100,000. I don't know where this spending is going with this board. Okay, and the only thing is, we would never get the information of how many were interviewed for this job. And does anybody on the school board or the superintendent know this person? Are they friends with her or whatever? Okay, we'll move on to B and C. And those are as far as these resignations and everything else. And I guess what it amounts to is they want an extension on their contract from 3 years to 5 years. But according to what Danielle's, the information she gave us, this school board could not do that at this time. That they would have to wait until the new board member is sworn in. And another question I have is, why are we doing this? They're only in their first year of their contract. They still have 2 more years left with their 3-year contract. So I don't know what's going on here with this board, but maybe we need to check the laws out some more.
Yeah. Smile.
Yes, Mr. Michael. Thank you.
Chris Scheibel,
I'll yield. Sorry, I was talking.
Michael George,
Nothing right now.
Jenna McHugh,
Something about you to be happy.
Yeah.
Mhm, sure.
Nothing wrong. It's not over.
No, it's not.
All right, good evening. I would like to begin by asking for clarification on agreement item B and C from the board because many of our public do not understand what it actually is.
Jenna, which one are you looking at?
Personnel B and C. So if you guys could explain, I'm sorry, 12. B and C, if you guys could explain to the public what it actually means, what you guys have a motion for.
That's what I talked
Do
about.
you have anything else you'd like to say? He doesn't want to impede on your time.
Okay, sure, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
If the public does not understand the agenda, they cannot meaningfully participate, and that's a problem, especially before you take a vote for it. I also want to ask the board, what has Angela done so exceptionally well in less than 1 year that warrants extending her contract already? She has only had 1 evaluation. There has been very little time to measure long-term performance, leadership, transparency, or outcomes. A specific example, last week there was a serious incident at the junior high. Parents only received an email, no phone calls. Is this a communication standard we believe deserves a contract extension? I also want to question the timing. Traditionally, superintendent contract discussions occur after at least several years, often 3, so there is sufficient data to evaluate performance. Why are we rushing this after only a year? And even more concerning, why is this being pushed through before the new board members are seated? That feels shady, rushed, and morally wrong. It undermines public trust. It gives the impression that decisions are being made behind closed doors instead of out in the open.
Yes.
We, the public, have the right to see both the current contract and the proposed new contract before any vote takes place, and this should be public information. If the board is confident that this is the right decision, there should be no need to hide the documents or hurry the process. I would also like answers regarding, well, I won't do that now, so I won't answer it. And lastly, in order for a superintendent contract extension to be legally voted on, the motion must appear on 2 consecutive agendas and be public. Can you show the community where this motion appeared prior to tonight?
Are you ready for Attorney Khan's?
The community is counting on this board to act ethically, legally, and transparently. Rushing a contract extension, withholding documents, ignoring standard timelines, and pushing this through before new board members take their seats does not reflect those values. I urge you to do the right thing for the district, for the taxpayers, and for the trust of this community. This motion should be voted a no by everyone, or for the very least tabled. That's it.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Attorney Khan here to explain the motions.
And this probably goes without saying, but I work for the board. I do not work for the superintendent. I work for the board majority. I don't work for administration. I'm going to answer the specific question I was asked. I'm not going to give a legal opinion unless the majority of the board wants a legal opinion, then I will give it, but otherwise I'm just answering the question. So this is not a renewal or a contract extension. The reason that the motions are structured this way is that it will essentially be a new 5-year contract. In order to do that, the resolution has both the superintendent and one of the assistant superintendents resigning and then creating a vacancy and then getting appointed to a new fire. That is what motions B and C do.
So did that have to be put on an agenda before this happened?
Well, again, I don't want to do legal opinions, but I will answer that short question, which is no, this is not a contract extension. This is a brand new appointment. Imagine that superintendent left unexpectedly for whatever reason, and there was a vacancy. You could at the very next meeting make an appointment to fill that vacancy.
But it's not, it's the same superintendent.
So you're allowed to give your legal opinion?
That's up to the majority of the board. If the majority of the board wants me to opine on any of it, I will do so. If they do not, I will not.
Was the agenda changed that was posted from yesterday? Oh, we can't, the wording? No, okay. Let's see it.
Mary Farquhar?
Very good.
Very good.
I don't have a whole lot to add to that, because that was so well done. I don't know how to top that. But what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? It seems like the name of the game is just brushing everything underneath the carpet, and let's see what we can get away with. And that's not what it's supposed to be all about. These people out here are paying the bills. We deserve to know everything that's going on. Mr. Paula should be sitting in that chair and representing as he's elected to do. So it's time for us to start acting like these people are running the show and not you guys. You're only running it as far as we deserve to know what's going on. And there's a lot of.
Are you waiting for me to respond?
No.
There's a lot of sunshine law. So let's just try to get that under control, please.
Lori Neiman?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mr. Wallace, we're still in public comment.
You know what I mean?
Technical difficulty, sorry.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Lori. I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience.
I guess it's just the popular thing to talk about tonight, but I was talking about personnel B and C. My question is, and like I said, she's only here a year, you know what I mean? And usually they do evaluations before they can actually vote on something. Does she have the evaluation yet? The end of the year. So January.
No, June 30th. Yeah,
Oh,
June
yeah.
30th. We did the fiscal year, so July 1 through June 30th.
Okay. And like, so she wants a contract extension or whatever, however this is worded, because it's not really explained, you know. So does it, B and C have to go hand in hand? Like, does she know what's one? Why does he need one? Or like, why is that? Is that like a package deal or what? Just because she wants an extension, why does B need an extension?
Yes. Yes.
Another thing is, two more things on that. Oh. And 13, number 13A. Why do we need another, I don't know, I understand what that is, another, it says special engagement letter or engagement letter for special legal counsel. Don't we have a counsel? Or why do we need another counsel? I mean, he's new, he doesn't, are you from Sweet Creek Council? Is that Sweet Stevens?
Yes, I'm from Sweet Stevens.
Okay.
It's not uncommon to have special counsel for a variety.
Yeah, sometimes you get,
Yeah.
but I don't know why this Whistler Pearl stops.
They're another school law firm, actually not far from where our offices are.
Oh, so it's like a competition with a.
They are our competitors.
So they're looking to get something new?
No, it's not uncommon for multiple law firms to work in the same district, doing different aspects of the districts. So when you see the phrase special counsel, that's different from solicitor. Our firm has been appointed as the solicitor. I'm pretty sure we do your special ed work too. But there's other kinds of work, tax assessment, litigation work, whatever. Could be any number of things where it's common to do special.
But they're not gonna be like sitting where you're sitting, you're saying.
We serve at the pleasure of the board, so as of this evening, that is certainly true. They can elect President Slafrowski at
But
any
that's
time they
gonna
want.
cost us money to get another law firm, right?
They aren't free.
They charge,
Yes,
they
they're not
charge
free.
by the hour, correct.
So, I mean, I'm just curious why C and B and we have to go through, spending more money now. They're looking for a 5-year contract, but their contract's not even up yet. They're only doing like 3 years. I guess she was hired for 3 years, and I think he was hired for 3 years too, right? So why can't they finish that out first? And then at maybe 2.5 years, then put it back on the agenda to see if it's, something that, we can vote on for an extension. I mean, I know it's been in the paper that the Heighton just did this, but we're not really Heighton. We're not a Parkland. We're not, you know what I mean? Like New York Palms. Maybe they can afford that, but I don't think at this time we can. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I saw that sign in, this girl waiting to, no. Okay. Do we want to answer the water line?
Oh, someone came in.
Oh, one moment. We had some people that came in late that were not able to sign in. Are we going to? I don't have time. You didn't put. They're still permitted to speak.
It's on
Yes.
agenda.
Yeah. Take the podium.
On the agenda.
I just have a quick question. So if somebody is giving their resignation and that leaves a vacancy, that has to be filled again. And that's why they're allowed to get another 5-year contract, a new 5-year contract. Does other people get to interview for the position? Because it is now vacant.
This resolution is not structured that way, this resolution. And again, I don't want to give a legal opinion. I definitely don't want to give a legal opinion in the context of responding to public comment. I'm absolutely happy to talk to the board
So
about
then
anything.
it's not creating a vacancy.
The resolution creates a vacancy, but because it's a single resolution, the idea is that resignation and the appointment to fill the vacancy are all part of the same resolution.
Is this why policy 308 is being changed?
Yeah.
Because the wording in policy 308 at the end says that the superintendent and assistant superintendent may submit their resignation to the board president. The board shall take official action on acceptance of the resignation in accordance with the terms specified in the superintendent's or the assistant superintendent's written contracts.
Technically, that hasn't even been approved yet. That's not.
But is that why this
No.
policy is being changed?
No, it's not, no. the policy-
It doesn't
no.
take effect until it gets approved. These are just readings of that policy, so that policy wouldn't even take effect until it gets approved. This is just the second, am I correct? This is the second reading of it? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's not even so we fall back to the previous policy until that policy is approved.
So after but it says to approve the second reading and adoption of the following policies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it does mean that that policy is going into effect.
Yeah, yes, then yes, yes, after this vote.
So is that why this policy is now being reworded and changed?
That was in the works. That was just part of our vocational policy updates.
Yeah, in the works. In the works. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Before we move on, I would just like to, I know there's been a lot of, comments and conversation regarding these two motions. I would just like to state that this was not, Dr. Freeland and Dr. Heaney asking for this. This was presented by several board members asking to put this into motion. As a matter of fact, back in June, Mr. Paulus himself asked the attorney, Lockinger about a contract extension, in which he did reply. So back in June,
And
Mr.
what was Attorney Sean's response?
You couldn't extend it.
You couldn't extend it. You couldn't extend it. But back in June, he was asking for if we could do that, that he had initiated that process himself. So now.
But he wasn't one of them that came to you when they did.
Oh, no, but he did initiate it back in June.
Right.
Right.
But when did this come up?
This came up 2 months ago.
What?
2 months ago.
We talked about it.
We did, we talked about it about 2 months ago, that people came and asked for this to be put into motion.
Well, it wasn't the
At
day
a
after the
meeting?
election.
At a
No.
meeting?
No.
At a meeting?
No.
It was the day after the election.
That we brought it to the board, yes.
Yeah, we brought it to the board.
We talked about it.
But people had
Mary
asked.
Jo and I talked about it. At a
But
meeting.
not in
Was it at a meeting?
You talked
Will
about
somebody
it.
answer it? Was it at a meeting?
Like, but they're not on the board making decisions.
Sunshine law.
Yes. Shine law, that's
A
right.
board member is allowed to contact a leadership role. And whether you like it or not, I am in a leadership role along with Mr. Paulus. So any board member can contact someone in leadership to take something to the superintendent, which is exactly what happened. That's why these were put into motion. We had a majority of members asking for this to be worked on with the solicitors.
If it takes this kind of thing for everyone to understand what's going on, then you are going beyond the sunshine.
There's something wrong. Yep. I like to know where our lawyer is.
He's right there.
No, our other lawyer, the lawyer that quit. And I'd like to know why he quit.
Okay, that's the public, that is not public, so.
Yeah, we're not gonna answer that. Where do I get it?
Okay, moving on to the meeting minutes. May I have a motion for the Board of School Directors to approve the board meeting minutes from October 21st, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Mary,
Thank you.
keep it up. You're doing good.
Any comments or questions on the minutes? Okay, do I have, all those in favor of approving the minutes, please do so by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
I'm unable to. Mr. Paulus, can you unmute yourself and vote yes or no?
You unmute yourself and vote yes or no? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just had
Under item 11, fiscal, motion for the board, I'm sorry, consent agenda. Letter A, motion for the Board of School Directors to approve the attached consent agenda. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
I'll make a second.
Thank you. All those in favor, comments or questions?
I have a comment and question. What is 2H? I know we approved that, and it's rescinding the employment. Personnel matters. And then also, just for my knowledge, how is MLA determined? Is that by the doctor or school policy?
Combination of both. Some documentation has to be submitted. And it's always interesting to me when it's on an agenda, it's technically if you qualify, you qualify. The board can't vote no on FMLA. But the employer has the right to ask questions about the process. So,
all right, because I always see different lengths, and I just don't know how that is.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on the consent agenda? All those in favor of the consent agenda, please note by saying aye. Aye.
I
Thank you.
I just wanted to vote no for.
Thank you.
The policies.
I'm sorry, which one?
3F.
3F. Mrs. Pauls would like to notice she voted no to item 3F on the consent agenda.
All of them?
It doesn't matter, but mainly eight. So whatever's easier.
Yeah. Number 8, mainly 8. It's number 8, correct? Yeah. It's noted, thank you. Now moving on to fiscal. Letter A, motion for the Board of School Directors to authorize Keystone Consulting Engineers Incorporated to proceed with the engineering design, permitting plans, and bid package in the estimated amount of $72,000 for the high school water line replacement project. Do I have a roll call vote, please? Yes, we can. Do I have a motion?
So,
I'll second.
Second, thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
I do.
Yes,
You want
Mrs. Haas?
Okay. Just like the community, this is the first I'm hearing of anything. We've not had any public discussion regarding what this actually was. I didn't know if we had a discussion to look into options other than this one, an estimated amount. We don't even know the amount. And to me, that puts us with the lame duck as a large expenditure.
Well, we did talk about it in executive session.
It's right, but nothing
we
was
never-
discussed public and nothing was discussed
Correct.
as far as options, like. Go ahead.
I'm just asking if we could table this for now and then come back to it, because I would love to know all our options. If this is the most equitable part, and this is the most responsible way to go about it, then sure, let's go this route. But I wanna make sure that we have all our numbers and all our figures to make sure that we are doing the right thing overall.
So are you making a motion?
So
Correct.
I'm before we
But like,
table, so this did come across with our safety procedures. So just
limited to what we
it,
can say.
it is very limited to what we can say before we potentially put the students at risk. So that's why it was discussed in our executive session, that we didn't want to cause any issue.
And this
So-
was the safest
Correct. This
way
was the safest,
to
quickest way to
rectify the situation.
100%.
Okay, so there is a motion to table, is there a second on the motion?
Yeah.
And not to be the Robert Rules nerd, but technically, motions to table do not have any discussion, so you simply now call the vote on that motion. to table.
Sherry, are you seconding
I'll
the
second,
motion
yeah.
to table? Okay. We're gonna do a roll call vote on this. The motion on the table, the motion is to table item 11 fiscal A. Will we have a roll call vote, please, Ms. McCandless?
Ms. Snyder?
No.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mazzepo?
Yes.
Mr. Martin? Ms. Fletcher?
No.
Mrs. Paulus?
Yes.
Dr. Connell?
No.
Ms. Haas?
Yes.
Earl Paulus?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, and again, to be a Robert Rules nerd, so with the motion to table passes, it will automatically be on next month's agenda, like, doesn't need to be added, so between now and then, do your due diligence.
Thank you.
With that being said, I'd like that we have some options to the board and the fact that an executive session prior to, or even discuss in public, whatever our options are within.
So I'm gonna back that up, that now we're gonna have new board members, so we cannot have an executive session prior to.
Well, we can have one in between
Right,
our.
between our, because January is our next.
Well,
So,
you can have an exec session between the reorg and then the actual.
And then an actual meeting
Right.
to bring the new person
And
up to speed.
correct.
It'll be. Thank you. Moving on to personnel. Letter A. Motion for the motion for the Board of Directors to approve Marlena Straub as elementary principal at Parkside SS Palmer Elementary as a Group 1 employee per the Act 93 Memorandum of Understanding at an annual salary of $98,000, prorated with a start date to be determined. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion on the motion at hand?
I just wanna be transparent with the board, with the public, that about my concern that I addressed with the board. I put in their salaries, I'm not gonna say that. Starting a principal out with no experience at $98,000 without board discussion is unfair to the staff who have earned their positions and worked their way up. If we set this precedent, every Act 93 member will understandably seek an increase, and that is not fiscally responsible to our taxpayers. There are appropriate steps for someone who wants to move into administration, being a student along with an assistant principal. Our job is to serve students, not train someone on how to be a principal at taxpayers' expense. In our current job description, it clearly states under qualifications, you need to have an experience for supervision and evaluations, which this candidate does not have. For these reasons, I cannot support this decision at a salary that exceeds seasoned administrators and disregard our established expectations for experience. This decision puts our students and potential principal up to fail. Every member of this board claims we put students first, so how is hiring an inexperienced principal in their best interests? When our current interim principal was presented to us, we were told he was highly qualified, yet now we are expected to approve a principal with no experience. If this truly was the best candidate available, then reopening the position should be an option. What is the rush? We had 3 current people that were turned away for jobs due to lack of experience. If experience matters for those roles, how can we ignore it when it's one of the most critical leadership positions in our district? Our students, staff, and community members deserve a principal who is fully prepared for day one, not someone learning at the job at their expense. Now, I'm not as a person, I'm not condemning you, it's just the position itself. And I just wanted to let the public know what my concern was that I addressed to the board.
Any other questions or comments from the board? We'll move on to a roll call vote.
Ms. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mrs. Paulus?
No.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Ms. Project Post?
Yes.
Dr. Connell?
Yes.
Mr. Mazeppa?
Yes.
Earl Paulus?
No.
Motion passes 7-2.
Welcome, Ms. Straub. We're happy to have you. Congratulations. Moving on to personnel, letter D. Motion for the Board of School Directors to approve the resolution to accept the resignation of the district superintendent, declare a vacancy, and resolution to elect a district superintendent in accordance with 24 PS sections 10-1071, 10-1073, and 10-1075, and entry into an agreement covering terms and conditions of employment for the district superintendent. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Any questions or comments?
Attorney Khan, I'm asking for your opinion on this.
Okay, so 2 options. We can do this in executive session, or if the board majority wants me to do it out here, we can, or if
The public deserves to know.
well,
You pay the taxes.
okay, we're not gonna do a lot of back and forth.
So I'm.
And legal advice is legal advice for a reason, right? That's, you wouldn't want your lawyer talking to people about conversations you have.
About transparency and our money, yeah, I would.
So I leave it up to a majority of the board whether they want to have an executive session, discuss it here or not. We don't have to vote, I just kind of need a straw poll.
I mean, if there's nothing to hide in this true transparency, I don't see a problem with it.
So, yes, no,
Yes.
No.
no.
Yes.
So it sounds like it's 5-4 to not discuss this. I don't know.
Oh, she running the show.
5-4 not to
No,
discussion
no,
right
no,
now.
he's
So
taking.
I'm not gonna answer this.
this.
I'm counting on all
Okay,
this.
5
Yes.
to 4, what?
It's
Can we do it
5
in
to
executive
4.
session then? Right now? Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna ask for no, because
Me too.
on November 11th, an email, I requested an executive session where any motions were put on an agenda. And it was ignored to go over these exact reasons. And if it was ignored then, I'm gonna say we ignore it now and we do it in public.
I'm not.
It should be in public, it's gonna get to the public anyway.
If it's executive session, how would it get to public?
Sunshine that.
Why is right? It does always. And it shouldn't be an answer. It always does. It's a small town. You know that. I know that, but that doesn't mean it should be. No, it's not. It's executive reason.
So what do we do?
Generally.
It should be in public if the public's paying the lawyer bill.
I will not do that, because that's executive session. If things will come out in the wash. They always do.
How's that?
And the way to do it, right, exactly.
Well, it was a 5-4 vote, so.
Right.
We were all given, there was a lot of discussion via email with this topic. As far as this topic goes. The contents of it is, there's no money involved in the contract. It's changing the years from 3 to 5. It's the end.
I disagree.
I disagree as well.
So do I.
So this is
If you
why
can share, that's fine.
This is why I asked for an executive session on November 11th to discuss these things, what is in the contract. Because Sherry and I, with Sean, wrote the contract, so I know what is in all of this. And I did not want to do this in public. I did not want to embarrass anybody. I did not want to put Dr. Creeper in a position. And now I put Dr. Haney in a position. And now here we are being forced in a position that could have been rectified and changed if we would just had an executive session on 11/11, if we would remove this from the board agenda. But here we are, and you're going to embarrass two people and bring out things that shouldn't have to be brought out regarding these contracts.
Okay, well, if you want to discuss contracts, we can.
That was the request on 11/11, and it was ignored. I was never provided to have the executive session that I wanted. And now I'm forced here to bring it up when it should really be, I think, executive session things. It is personnel. It is regarding this contract. Just like when we negotiated the contract back in October, when we hired Dr. Friedland and held the executive session on a Friday night to go over everything that's in here so we can sign it come end of October for her start date in December. And that was not provided to me. We provided it to everybody else, but that right was not provided to any of us. So now here we are. And I'm disappointed in that. I'm disappointed.
Because they're time, Heaney's tone, it doesn't show up.
So you say you don't want an exec session right now? So that-
Why do it now?
I'm just asking.
I wanted to, what is today?
There's not that
25th?
much
I wanted it 2 weeks ago. That's when I asked for it. And if we couldn't get it then, why do it now?
Sorry.
And the first time it was even mentioned to us was on November 5th. That's when you sent the text when you were ready to go on your cruise. That's the first time it was mentioned. We heard nothing about.
That's the day it was brought to me as well.
Okay.
So that was the day I sent it
Right.
out. So I could get it out before I left.
But then, and you're saying some of you guys talked. We knew nothing about it. We knew nothing about it at all. Then we started getting the emails. And we're just like,
Well, and I told you in the email, I wrote in that email that I was the one that asked Mary Jo to bring it forward
Right,
to the board.
right.
So, I mean, that's when I said, okay, Mary Jo, bring it forth to the board.
Well, she
was
said
when
she had
you-
the majority.
When you got that text.
Yes, she's.
Yes, in that text, majority said yes.
To bring it to the board, she said she had the majority. To bring it to the board.
No, I had asked her, just like she had said before, that I had went to the vice president and asked her to put it to the board. That's exactly what happened.
Again, why don't we just ask the lawyer his opinion? Not that hard.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah. We pay a solicitor for a reason, okay? Taxpayers pay a solicitor for a reason. We should hear what his opinion is. When you say there's not money involved, you're wrong. When you add another, it's not another 4 years, it's 5 years. So think about that, it's 3.5% every year. So yes, it is about money.
And that's stuff we normally talk about. I mean, when Brandon and we talked to all of you. And Angela knows this. We talked to all of you when she brought up something that she would like to have included. We didn't do it was a board of 9, not 5. And we all contributed to that first contract. Well, I'm not even saying that I'm just saying, we needed to make this decision as a whole. To discuss as Earl just said, 3.5 increase every year. That's what's in a current one. And now that's what's in the new one. So there's 3 additional years at that. So yes, it is more money.
No, it's not. It's not.
Right, the percentage is staying the same, but as of now, the percentage stops at a certain year.
But so does her employment then too. And then so does, okay, and I get what you're saying, Sherry. I totally hear you. I hear you. But how much does it cost to bring in another superintendent? Every single time we lose an administrator here, we have to bring another one in at higher cost.
But who's saying that Dr. Friedland is not going to be our
Right.
superintendent
Well, why would we not
June
guarantee ourselves?
2027?
Why would we not guarantee ourselves?
Because it's
We
against the
all- I
law.
talked to them.
Because we didn't do it, Dr. Frank Kelly. We didn't do any other superintendents. And we never had an assistant superintendent, so I'm not gonna.
And
talk about
every
that, 'cause
single,
there's no
and
precedent.
for the most part, maybe not Rob, because every single one of us have raved about how good of a job she's doing. Why would you want to lose somebody that's doing such an amazing job? Why would you want to lose that?
But who's saying she's gonna go anywhere?
Exactly.
Who says he's
She
doing a
could,
good job?
she could. We're
Right.
guaranteeing
Even if we
ourselves.
give her a 5-year contract, she can come in tomorrow and say
hold
she
her
wants
contract.
to leave.
We can hold
So
her
it doesn't
contract.
matter. Well,
Not
no,
no.
she can turn in
She
resignation,
can turn a resignation.
90
I
days.
don't know why.
Again,
you
these are
would
things
want-
that I wanted to
I don't
discuss.
know why you wouldn't
Exactly.
want.
But we didn't give a
Exactly.
90-day resignation today. She didn't give us 90 days for a resignation for today.
It's in the resolution. It's addressed in the resolution.
But that's not.
But it's addressed in the resolution.
But that's still in her
Just
current
the legal
contract. The current contract is what's holding right now.
And we never went even over this. It was never presented by anybody. It was for us to read it and
Yeah.
to assume.
Sent an
To
email.
assume that everyone understands what all the legalese is. And it is to assume. What should have happened is that this is given to us, a solicitor explains to us, if anybody's any questions, we can ask those questions. But we were not,
It's not, I mean, we were all given it last week and it's been in.
but did we have an executive session over it? Did we have an opportunity to discuss about it? And if these things should not be discussed by email or through text message.
Correct.
And certain things weren't added until yes.
That's right.
No, that's not true.
Well, I printed out the ones that we got with the commission meeting sent out. That's what I printed out. And like you said, basically it's a duplicate of exactly what we gave her 3 years ago. which has an issue or two on it, but, extending the dates or adding the dates, the salary, as well as the, well, her current salary, of course, changed as well. So adding the years on, but yeah, we need, again, a contract, and this is one of the things that they say is one of the potential restrictions, is changing key employee contracts. Held accountable by the lame duck law.
Okay.
I mean, that's, I don't want anything illegal by this district. I want all of us protected. And again, who's to say next year, why would she not be here? So what's the rush?
It's not a rush, it's to just.
We were notified on November 5th.
I wanna call.
That you wanna,
Okay, okay.
What's going on?
Executive session.
Oh, in the middle of a, oh, come on.
Yeah. Okay, let's go
You're
over
not
this.
going, you're not going back?
Danielle, you go?
Okay.
Here.
What? No, what?
When you come back.
What?
No, because it's gonna take a while.
What they like to say is not.
What is it, 5 hours or 6 hours?
We asked for it. 2 weeks ago.
We have a lot more standing up saying.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Well,
Yeah, go on board.
Yeah. Okay, with this one, you don't get.
Right, right.
No, when you say this.
That's not like,
Also, you can talk
I was gonna say that, right.
and also no probation.
Right. That's correct. But I was gonna say.
no, it shouldn't.
Yeah, it's.
I'm gonna point out to the lawyer what happened. Did he tell you why?
Yeah.
Did he tell you why? Great.
Yeah. That whole knows right. Said there is problems getting one of them. Somebody else said that. And that we don't want to. I don't know. What? I know. I'm gonna go get this now.
I like chickens, they're at the farm. And over here jars.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Again, he asked for a meeting.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're picking up in a pair.
I was driving here and I was like,
That's okay, I have jars for honey.
so it was Friday.
Hi, Bucky.
How are you, sir?
Leave, but then you'll still get the bonus. It doesn't matter. I wanna be on housing and I talked to Congress. No. Listen. Oh, I know.
Be careful.
What's that? No, I'll stop trying.
I said so many times, I said it's time, people. I said it's time, people. There's too much disrespect.
Normally. Oh, yes. Or oh, yeah, on the other side. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something.
Oh, Missy Huggy.
Thank you for your patience. We're going to move on with our agenda to letter B. I don't. We have a motion and a second. We had discussion.
Well, we have more discussion.
Okay.
Okay, so, and again, I said there were several things on it, but, so basically, of course, in the state of Pennsylvania, board is not supposed to accept the superintendent's resignation, declare a vacancy, and approve a new contract for the same person in a single motion. These actions must be addressed as a separate item and vote primarily to ensure transparency, meet specific procedural requirements under the Pennsylvania School Code, and avoid the appearance of impropriety or commingling of functions. Basically, resignation acceptance, a vacancy is created when a resignation is accepted by a majority vote at a public meeting, and that requires a specific action item. The hiring process for filling a superintendent's vacancy, even if the intent is to rehire the same person, all involves separate steps and timeframes. Public process and Sunshine Act, all board actions, including votes on personnel matters, such as resignations and contracts, must be conducted publicly in accordance with Pennsylvania's Right to Know law, Sunshine Act. Combining multiple distinct actions into a single motion can obscure the specific votes of board members in each crucial item. Avoiding commingling of functions, Pennsylvania courts have emphasized the need for a wall of division between different administrative functions to eliminate the threat or appearance of bias. Combining the end of one contract, which is a resignation, with the beginning of a new one or motion, particularly for the same individual, can raise concerns about due process and proper procedure. In our specific case, not all of us may want to vote a straight yes or no for all of the items listed in the motion. The way that it's listed takes that away from us. Therefore, the action should be handled as distinct motions and separate votes recorded in board meeting minutes. This ensures that each action is considered on its own merits and all statutory requirements are met. School boards, of course, should consult their legal counsel, which we have done in the past. On another note, just so the community knows this and the board, even if this does get approved, there's still a chance that the commission for the superintendent through the PDE could actually be denied by the PDE if the proper steps were not taken. Now on to the questions for the contract itself. Keeping in mind, other than, again, a group text from November 5th, there's been no discussion as a board for any new contracts, including no discussion of salary increases, which affects our taxpayers. As far as I understand, there was not even a discussion among our negotiating team. In the new contract, page 3, item 5, under the compensation, this is what I mentioned. It appears that we are offering 3.5% increase every school year through 2031. Brandon, I'm going to call upon you to cover page 5, 7B. I did. Page 5. 7B. That part.
The objective performance standards is supposed to be listed on the district website. They were not listed last year, and they're currently not listed either. This is also part of the contract. The last one and the current one that we're going to be approving.
Okay, page 6, 11B, specifically states and stated in the current contract that the superintendent must provide at least 90-day notice prior to the effective date taken for any legal action for resignation. You said it's in the resolution. Page 10, under duties and responsibilities, item number 2 is to make certain that the superintendent administers the school code. We were directed by council that the way we are doing it does not meet school code. Last but not least, page 13 under and 14 undergraduate course reimbursement. First of all, this actually needs to be removed from the contract. When we originally met to discuss terms for the original contract, it was asked of us to reimburse $5,000 to Whitehall for prior educational courses that were completed. We granted it, of course. It states specifically, any and all amounts paid directly to Whitehall Copley School District will be required to be paid back by the district superintendent to the district if the district superintendent resigns her position with the district prior to the 1-year anniversary of her start date. That should not even be in there because it's already been taken care of. So it needs to be removed from that contract, negating that contract.
However, it was in the old contract as well. Therefore,
right.
This is why I wanted to have the initial executive session, because I didn't want to put Dr. Cleveland in a position where technically, by her contract, she will owe this district $5,000. And I don't think that's fair. However, it was not given my opportunity to share that with the board, and it's also inappropriate to put that in any email or text message because it should have been shared between all of us and our solicitor, and it should have also been included in one of these documents that would have got rid of that, so she would have been saved that $5,000. Therefore, I ask, do what you please, but if we move on with it, it is owed to the district.
And I did speak to another council of another board that I'm on just to review that statement to see what their thoughts were, and they totally disagree with the way that it's written as well. And it's another educational building.
The language of that was taken care of.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, moving on. We do have a first and a second motion. We'll go to a roll call vote.
Mr. Mazzafa?
I want it on the record that my decision is not based off of anyone's performance or how I feel someone is satisfactory or proficient. However, it is based off the way that this board has handled this motion and these motions. Therefore, no.
Ms. Krawcheck, motion? Yes. Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mrs. Paulus? No. Dr. Connell?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Haas?
No.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Earl Paulus?
No.
Motion passes 5.
That's gonna change.
Thank you, board. Letter C under personnel. Motion for the Board of School Directors to approve the resolution to accept the resignation of the District Assistant Superintendent for Academic Programs and Technology. Declare a vacancy and resolution to elect a District Assistant Superintendent for Academic Programs and Technology in accordance with 24 PS Sections 10-1071, 10-1076, 10-1077, and 10-1075, and entry into an agreement covering terms and conditions of employment for the District Assistant Superintendent for Academic Programs and Technologies. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second? Questions or discussion from the board?
Pretty much to repeat what I said, unfortunately, in the last one. However, I would like to also focus on the contract where it talks about assessment performance, specifically stating that after each year, no later than July 31st, beginning on July 31st, that we will assess the assistant superintendent, both of them. That's in both their contracts. It is understood that the objective performance standards shall be reviewed and updated as necessary on or before September 30th of each year of this agreement, unless another date is mutually agreed upon by the superintendent or assistant superintendent. These are supposed to be posted on our website. Again, we have not posted anything on our website. You can't even search assessment of performance on our website to find out what it was even last year. So I don't even know if to say that he did. However, I don't even know what the performance standards were, what they were, where they met. I'm not disagreeing with you. I truly believe both of them have. Don't get me wrong. However, it was never shared with us, let alone posted on the website as it says in the legal documents and also the contract. We haven't gotten it right the first time. So now we're gonna go try to do this again without knowing anyone's performance standards. We're not doing our due diligence. Part of our job as a board member is to evaluate consistently. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. Again, I repeat myself, I'm disappointed.
Yes, they both well exceeded the standard.
But it's supposed to be posted online.
Any other discussion? Moving on to a roll call vote, Ms. McCamus?
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Mazzafa?
I repeat myself again, my vote is not a personal vote. If I'm confident in their job, however, it is the way that this board handled these decisions, therefore no.
Ms. Krawcheck, yes. Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Haas?
No.
Mr. Moisen? Yes. Mrs. Paulus? No. Dr. Connell?
Yes.
Earl Paulus?
No.
Motion passes 5-2.
Motion passes 5-2.
Moving on to letter D, motion for the Board of School Directors to approve the retirement and separation and release agreement for employee number 776, effective December 31st, 2025. Do I have a motion? I'll make the motion. And a second?
So moved. A second, sorry.
Any questions or comments from the board? Ms. Buchanan, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Project Motion,
Yes.
Ms. Haas,
Yes.
Dr. Connell,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace.
Yes.
Mr. Zeppa,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Ms. Martin, yes. Earl Wallace.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Letter E, motion for the Board of School Directors to approve Tran Thompson as Director of District Facilities at an annual salary of $90,000 prorated with a start date to be determined. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Also.
Any questions or discussion from the board?
I just want to say, he is going to be.
I can't hear him.
I can't hear
I
you.
can't hear you.
Rob.
No, I said he will be a great addition to the administrative team. He is extremely intelligent, extremely confident, and he takes his job very seriously. So I'm happy for him.
Vote please, Ms. Buchanan.
Mr. Moise, Mrs. Wallace.
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. Haas,
Yes.
Mr. Mazeppa.
Yeah.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Dr. Connell,
Yes.
Ms. Project Motion.
Yes. Because she's worried she's mispronouncing it, but you're doing a great job.
Earl Wallace.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Moving on to item 13, letter A, motion for the Board of School Directors to approve retroactively the engagement letter for special legal counsel dated November 5th, 2025 with Whistler Pearlstein LLP. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion from the board? Ms.
Yeah, I got one. What is this for?
Mr. Paulus, you received the letter, the attachment itself.
Yeah, what's it for?
Okay, but I guess my concerns are, from what I understand, from the previous investigation that's still going on, for like $45,000 into that investigation. I was just wondering, how much money do the taxpayers want to spend on all these investigations?
What's the dollar amount we're at?
Any other comments or discussion from the board? Not, Ms. Buchanan, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Connell,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mr. Mazeppa,
Yes.
Ms. Haas,
Yes.
Ms. Project Motion,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace, Earl Wallace.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Letter B, motion for the Board of School Directors to approve the memorandum of understanding dated November 25th, 2025 with the Palmerton Area Education Association regarding personal leave days. Do I have a motion?
So second.
Second, thank you. Any comments or discussion from the board? Ms. McCandless, roll call vote, please.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mr. Morzan, Ms. Haas,
Yes.
Ms. Project Motion,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace. Dr. Connell.
Yes.
Ms. Snyder.
Yes.
Mr. Mazeppa,
Yes.
Earl Wallace.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Letter C, motion for the Board of School Directors to approve retroactively the memorandum of understanding dated October 27, 2025, with the Palmerton Area Education Support Professionals Association regarding temporary additional instructional assistance support services. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Any comments or discussion from the board? Ms. McCandless?
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mr. Mazzepa,
Yes.
Mr. Monzak,
Yes.
Ms. Patrick Bush,
Yes.
Mrs. Paulus. Dr. Connell.
Yes.
Ms. Haas,
Yes.
Earl Paulus.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 14, public participation. This can be on any topic within the school district. I'll allow Ms. McCandless to call names. Just give her 1 moment, please. Again, the 5-minute time limit is in effect.
Danielle Paulus. Richard Banko.
Yes, okay. Okay, a few meetings ago, there was, something came up, for a substitute principal at SS Palmer, okay? And he's all approved at $500 a day. One of the board members said that the average was $475, and then, a board member said that why quibble over $25?
I didn't say the average, I said they approved one
I
for
didn't-
475. Just correcting your statement.
Just, that's what was said was $475. Okay, well, all right. Why quibble over $25? That's what I heard.
Weren't my exact words, but we'll go with it.
Okay, all right, that's my $25.
Yeah.
But,
and mine.
all right, so what? So that's $75 a week? Or $125 if he works 5 days.
Mr.
Okay,
Banko, at some point in
let me
time,
read
no,
something
let
to
me
you.
just say something real quick.
Yeah,
At some
go
point
ahead.
in time,
his 5
you have
minutes.
to, I'll get, listen,
It's-
at some point in time, you have to start thinking about children and not just a dollar.
I am
okay?
thinking about
No,
children.
you're not. No,
Yes,
you
I
are
am.
not.
Oh.
Continue on now, Mr. Banko.
Okay, all right, well, I'll read you something that you wrote. Okay, all right. All right, students and community needs exploring state and federal funding opportunities and identifying savings in other areas of the budget would be key. Above all, I would prioritize the open communication with taxpayers and work to support facility improvements without placing unnecessary burden on residents. Okay,
Yes.
so what does
That's
that
exactly
mean?
right. That's
That
exactly
means we
right.
just spend money, just like, there's not, I haven't seen anybody come. I haven't, I haven't hired anybody with a probation period. There's nobody with a probation. You just go right to the top salary. And I don't understand that.
Well, it's not the top salary by any means.
Who's talking to you?
You are actually.
Excuse me,
I'm
we're gonna
talking to you.
keep it respectful for everyone.
Well, it starts there.
And
I'm
you
a
as well.
taxpayer.
You are, so are we, so am I. So is everyone sitting at this table except our administrators, but we are as well. So I ask that we keep some stability within this.
We'll tell her to.
I just said for
She said-
everyone,
she
and I
looked at me.
looked at everyone.
Just keep on going with what you have there. Keep on going.
All right, now we have a Title IX. Now, I guess, I don't know if we're gonna have another Title IX, but there's one Title IX, but I think there's gonna be another Title IX. Okay, what's that Title IX costing us? $45,000? That's taxpayers' money. Okay, all right. Earl is voted in by the taxpayers and he ought to be sitting there, okay? All right, and the only thing she should be doing is not here, but she's only here to advise the board. That's what the law says. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, it's Google it. That's right, okay, all right. I'd still like to know about the pipeline. What's going on with this pipeline? Why is this happening? I don't understand that either. And what's that gonna cost us? The pipeline and the security system. Is the security system working? Did anybody test the security system?
We're not gonna talk about any of the security system stuff in a public meeting. It is fair to assume that the security systems are all working.
They weren't. They weren't working. Okay, they weren't working until the last meeting, when I was told they were working, we still don't know. They were, I don't think they were tested, nobody told me they were tested, okay? And I'd like to know, solicitor, I'd like to know why our lawyer resigned, why did why did Sean quit? Can you tell us why?
You're free
You
to
don't wanna
reach
tell
out.
us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
I wasn't
know,
part of
yeah,
that
don't, yeah, you don't have to answer that, okay. I get that a lot, okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right, thank you, all right.
Ani Rankle? Just for the record, her name is Dr. Friedel.
Yes,
If
thank
anyone's
you.
not sure what her name is,
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank
Friedel.
One thing I want to bring up is this 5-minute clock. I know it's just all slightly that we are enforcing this. But I remember when we were renovating the wrestling facilities, we listened to a wrestler's mother and she spoke for at least 15 minutes. The board gave her time to get all her feelings out there and opinions about it. And I think it's important that some of us taxpayers have the same privilege to do that when we have something important to say. That's all I'm gonna say about that, but you'll probably do what you wanna do anyway. In the past, we approved a medical or sabbatical leave for an employee. 2 years ago, he had 40 days of sick leave. Now we approved another one. I don't know what this is costing us, but here we go again, spending money. And as far as we were never given the real reason why he qualified for this. And now we have to move an employee to take over his position and up their salary. So, I mean, it's like this spending money just keeps on going. Okay, as far as the HR fiasco. Okay, we hired someone, according to the board, some of you board members, it was absolutely necessary to have this position, have this person here. Then we find out she wasn't qualified. But she started at $87,000, no probation. Okay, then when she was removed from the job, the responsibilities were split between 3 other employees. And 2 of them got raises to take over those duties. So even though we eliminated this $87,000 position, it still is costing us more money. Okay, and I'm going to go back to this, and I know she answered this, but a school board's member has her son working here as a teacher. I still feel this is against the rule. And as far as her stating that recusing herself from voting does not make it okay, she is still privileged to confidential information when it comes to contracts, policies. Not only that, but when you, as far as the superintendent, rate her performance, is this going to color her judgment there? Again, when this person was hired and you voted on it, we did not know how many people were interviewed. And we have to depend on someone's opinion as far as whether or not this person was the best candidate. All I have to say is some of this unnecessary spending has got to stop. Because I don't want to get another tax bill with it going up. And some of this is totally unnecessary.
Michael George?
Hey, everyone. First, thank you, board, for a thankless job. I appreciate it. Congratulations, Dr. Ashley. Thank you, Dr. I have lots of things I would like to say. I'll try to make them quick. I would as well appreciate any transparency we can have on the agreement we have with Rafael Pupillo and Grand River. I'm also intrigued as to how much we're spending and why it is that we're spending that. I think that it's important to recognize that if we want to have quality folks, then we need to hire them and pay them that. And I hear all of us in the community and the board talk about how we love our small school and our community. And unfortunately, because we're a small school and a small community, we sometimes have to hire folks that we know. But we elect all of you to do that job and do a good job. And we pay our administrators to do that job. So we maybe sometimes just need to have a little faith that you all are doing the job that we've asked you to do and how much you do, and the job that we're paying you to do. So thank you for all you do.
Lieutenant McHugh, I believe. Lieutenant McHugh, I believe. Oh. Mary, hi. Mary Park.
Okay, just a general comment. It's often a tactic of, in settings like this, where people want to keep things swept under the rug, will often persecute and or prosecute those who want to open their mouth and maintain transparency.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out for anybody who's not aware of it. So I see three camps here: those who want to keep transparency, those who want to sweep everything under the carpet, which was shown very clearly most recently, and those who couldn't give a rip about education or children, but are trying to accomplish the agenda. Our families worked hard and fought for this country and the Constitution. It's time for us to recognize that and stop shifting towards this mindset where we don't want to give people a chance to speak, so we shut them out in any way we can. That's a dishonest act. That is not honesty. That is not transparency. It's just something I want to point out.
Lori Neiman?
Good job.
Good job.
I remember when Angela, Dr. Our superintendent was here. She first got hired and Earl was here. And he said, we got a good one here. And I don't know when, I don't know why. It's just everything is in disarray. And it just has me upset. Palmer is a good school district. And we should be proud of the school. And when everybody's fighting and not getting along, it just bothers me. My kids aren't even in school anymore. Why I come to these meetings, I have no idea. Because I just get disgusted. You know, and I know everyone's trying their best, but we gotta talk, we gotta communicate, we gotta get along. You know, I know emails go around and stuff like that, but it seems like, well, this person's getting this email, this person's not getting this email. It's like, it gotta be communication. And Doctor, when you said this tree that we're having, and you know, I loved your speech. She's gonna be great. You know, it just, you gotta follow through. I mean, everybody's gotta work together, and you know, it's just sad how everybody's fighting. You know, we elected Earl as the president. You know, everybody seems to hate Earl. You know, why did you elect him as president then? Is that the quickest place to kick him out because he's president? You know, you elected him, but now he can't even come into meetings. Why? You know, Mary Jo's vice president. She's doing a good job because Earl can't be here. You know, you guys got to work together and communicate and get along. Dr. Moore, or, I don't call everybody doctor. Rob, I mean, God bless you, you sat in here for how long? You did a great job when you were there. Well, I bet your public life gone. But, Spurs, God bless her, I'll tell you, everyone wanted me to run for board. No way in hell. No, there's no way, but I just, please get along. It only makes our district look better. I mean, what Heidi's going through, God bless that. We don't want to look like everybody reads the paper. Oh God, let's just try to get along. That's all I have to say.
Lynn, Pastor Reedy, did you want to comment? Is there anyone else we missed that wanted to speak or say something for public participation? Does any board member have anything for the good of the order?
I have something just real quick. I just wanted to thank Rob again. I know he's been here for a short time, but we appreciate what he has brought to the table of the discussions, and so I just want to thank you for your time.
I want to piggyback off that. Rob has been a great asset to this board, and he has given us perspective that we never would have thought of. And I know that we'll be working together. So,
And it's very nice to have you on the other side. We're in the trenches. So it's really nice to have that perspective on this side. It's for as much as we would love to tell everybody everything, and I can say this because I've been here this is my second term. Kind of said with Lori, I'm not really sure what I was thinking, but here I am, and the public voted me in. So for folks that didn't vote for me, that's okay. People have different points of view, right? I don't think anyone here hates Mr. Paulus. We are just, people don't get along sometimes, and that's okay.
He won the election.
I'm sorry?
He was elected.
He was elected, and he's elected again.
Yes.
As am I, and Danielle, and Aaron, and Mrs. Gursky. Sitting on the other side is really difficult to know what happens on this side. When I was first elected 4 years ago, it was really hard, and Kathy Fallow was the president at the time. I just said this to Aaron tonight. There was no back and forth when we had a question. I had a lot of questions. It was during COVID. It's my son's senior year. We were on a meeting until midnight. So that's kind of why we tried to enact the time frame limit, because sitting on a meeting until midnight from 5 p.m. was really difficult for folks, right? But getting from a public perspective, of which I was at that point, to this time and seeing the daily workings and understanding personnel and issues, that it's astounding how different it is from the public to this side of the board table. Please understand, no one is trying to hide anything. This is a small town. Laura nailed it. People know. You may not know the whole story. You get one side of the story, or maybe a little bit. We are friends. We are neighbors. We are community members together, coming here for the good of this school district. I appreciate everyone that comes and talks. We don't have to agree. We don't have to sit down and break bread, but we do have to be fair to each other. Dare I say kind. Thanksgiving is coming. Give thanks. We're blessed. We are so blessed that we can sit here and speak our minds freely and agree to disagree. But please don't think any one of us are trying, and again, I will speak for all 9 board members. I don't think anybody's trying to disillusion anyone. Things will come out in due time with everyone's questions, concerns, how things work. Trust the process, please. And please trust us to trust our administrators. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. Thanks.
I want to say one thing. I want to give a big old kudos to our students for staying at the Phantoms game on Wednesday. Pastor Reedy was nice seeing you there. did a marvelous job and represented our district extremely well. So, job well done to all those students and those who guide them.
Anything else? Rob, I'm just gonna piggyback. It was great working with you. We're both district. Nice to work with you on this side, so thank you. It's been a pleasure. Okay. Adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor, please, note by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I have a quick question. Who are we gonna have for a solicitor next meeting? Are we gonna have a solicitor next meeting?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I get letters with my elbow.
Yeah.
We got.
I do a double take. Wait a minute.
Thanks. Appreciate Hang on a second.
I didn't hear you.
Did